Today's adventure brings us to the property of Walt Disney World. But I will in fact not be entering any of the parks. We'll be doing something a little bit different. The game plan is to rent and board a sea vessel and explore all the nooks and crannies of the Seven Seas Lagoon and attached Bay Lake. Just kind of roam around the waterways. The real question is, do I take the teeny tiny boat, the pontoon, or that mid-size one right there in the middle? The hours are 11 to 5 p.m. and these are the prices if you'd like to plan accordingly. Even though fishing is allowed out here, I will not be partaking, no pole in hand. It is a catch and release policy, but I'm just gonna let them be. I'm gonna let them have their freedom. I'm just here to cruise. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, officially out to sea. To see what? Whatever we decide to gaze our eyes upon. World of Micah is behind the wheel for now. I am riding shotgun, and there's a heck of a lot of room on here. We will switch places as the day progresses. This is kind of becoming a tradition of sorts. Back in 2015, we did this. Can you believe it's been that long?
It's been a long time.
The layout of the land, per se, can be seen on that map. I've grabbed the captain's chair, going straight ahead. Join me, shall you? I have this clamp to my belt loop, and it is attached right down there. That way, if I fall out, the boat will automatically turn off and I can reboard. This is a slow, use idle speed, no wake zone. And I'm going over a water bridge, which means directly below us is a road. You can see it right down there. And there's the money shot. There goes the monorail. Who knew, as traffic is going underneath this, that there is water right above you. This windsock designates just how gusty it is out here at the moment. That bird just totally video bombed. I think the best course we should take is go all the way to the far end of Bay Lake and then make our way back. Now before we showed, back in 2015, we showed the wave machine. We're going to show a few more details today. We're going to stay out here a little longer than I did once before. Very quickly leaving the views of the contemporary behind. For some reason in my mind, I thought pontoons moved at a very slow pace, but this thing just trucks right along. How fast do you think we're going?
Well, right now we were going 10.
Just below 10. Right now, probably 9-ish. Gun it. See if we get this thing up to 15. I hear some heavy machinery on that shoreline. That's former river country. Right over there. Yeah. Tearing it all down. All that old woodwork. The abandoned water park. Parts of it still sit way back there, but not for much longer. They're just ripping it out. The soothing sounds of progress. Wow. You want to explain what that tree is behind you, Micah?
This is the shoe tree. So basically, if you work in Walt Disney World transportation on the marina and the boats, when you retire, they make you take your shoes, you tie the shoelaces together, and they have a little ceremony. You throw your shoes on the tree, and this is where they live on forever.
The shoe tree.
The shoe tree.
The shoe tree of Bay Lake. Quite a few birds perched up there as well. I'd guess there's probably 3 or 4 dozen shoes up there in the tree, and just as many fowl to match. Maybe the birds want to wear those shoes. They're doing some shopping. Gonna have some waves, some rippling waves. It's gonna get a little rocky. We're bouncing. We're bouncing. Hold on. Whoa. It's like an aquatic roller coaster of sorts. This is a no wake zone. Is it a no wake zone? Look, he just passed right by the shoe tree without all those birds went a flying. Now we're gonna really start shifting to and fro. It's moving. This pontoon cannot go. Roller coaster round 2. We're bouncing. Oh my gosh. Looped back around. Had to get another shot of that rubble there. The river country rubble. A more personal aspect of the branches. Never know what you're gonna find out here. Certainly something they don't put on the guide map. Fort Wilderness back there in the distance. Moving right along. I spy Space Mountain to the far right. And even though I'm standing currently in the Florida sun right here, if I just shift a bit, adequately prepared is this awning to shield us from the elements. Oh yeah, that's better. Much better. This is riding in style. Side note, all the boats go about the same speed and are pretty much the same price point. So why not go with the larger one so you can stretch your legs out? That's my philosophy. Lots of leg room. We're about to watch a very rare opportunity. Through that clearing in the trees in the middle is where the ferry boats are taken. This one is off duty and making its way through that clearing. This ferry boat is way off course. And you notice there's no park guests anywhere on it. It's going to continue past those buoys where we are not allowed. Even cooler that that's the Admiral Joe Fowler. Way off course! Notice the monorail about to go inside the Contemporary. There it is, and there it goes. Wait for it. It's almost there. Be patient. Done. And another makes its exit. What a view. While we're at it, might as well show this angle. Yet another one protruding its way inward from this side. Be patient. That one's almost in too. Be patient. And there it goes. It's interesting on the map, it still states the name Discovery Island. This was Discovery Island, and if you look close, you can still see some of the buildings and partitions right up there on the land. Hasn't been used in decades. I'm surprised there's no buoys here next to this thicket of brush. You can get awfully close to the thicket. You can nearly reach out and touch the thicket.
What's a thicket?
Right there, that's all thicket. See how thick it is? Oh dang, check that out. A building, or at least a roof on one of the old docks. You can see the chain link fence they put up. Don't want anyone snooping around on that island. It's not safe. You never know what kind of wildebeest is waiting in there for you. The past.
Now, it's been said, I've heard this many a times, there's been a couple of different locations, but I was told at one point Roy's cabin was supposed to be built right over here, but then I also heard that Roy was supposed to have a cabin over here at Fort Wilderness Campground, so it's never really been confirmed to me.
So the rumor is Roy Disney, brother of Walt, who opened Walt Disney World after his brother passed away, was going to have a cabin built on Discovery Island somewhere in this neck of the woods. True or false? You decide. Could pretty much get out and walk in this little section. It's not too incredibly deep. You can see the sand and dirt at the bottom. Lots of lily pads along the beach line. Well, what used to be the beach line. And take a look at that. Little mementos from back in the day. At one point, it might be covered by this brush. There were pieces of an old pirate ship that was used for production purposes. It's either been removed or completely engulfed by the foliage. This particular section kind of reminds me of like Gilligan's Island. That little like alcove area, and you see the trees like protruding up out. The root system has been like eroded. Some cypress knees there on the left, and a piece of lumber no longer in use. An old light on top. Peek through there very carefully. That's a building. Cast your eyes upon that. Plain as day hiding back there. Making our way out of Bay Lake, which is about 30 or so feet deep, to the man-made portion of Seven Seas Lagoon, which is only about 12 to 14 feet deep. The big difference. Parade coming through. There's a parade coming through. Vessels of all shapes and sizes. Hello. Both the sections are connected. Once again, passing back over this water bridge. See the buses and cars going right underneath. From ground level, you would never know this is up here. It's rather misleading. It's a little something down there. Foundation, some former concrete. Lots changed since the early 70s through here. Some of these rocks are unusual. The one right there in the middle, after looking at it, I don't think it's a rock. It's like a sloth-like foam-looking creature. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You never know. Doesn't get much better than this. Got all the major landmarks in frame and the monorail going by. Heck yeah. Castle, train station, Space Mountain, ferry boat. It's all there. The cranes, I believe, are in place above the tree line for the new Tron attraction that's being built. Some construction happening. Close enough to even see the topiary Mickey right there in the middle of the frame. At night, they have an electric water pageant, floats that come out here on the lagoon. slightly tucked away across from the Grand Floridian. Oh, you can see them back in there.
Yeah.
You can see the floats. Little storage area. Monorail beams are in the water. I never noticed that before until Micah pointed it out.
I didn't know.
They're just like stanching right down in the lagoon.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Not on land, but in the sea.
The Seven Seas. I wonder why they call it the Seven Seas Lagoon.
You don't know?
I have no idea.
Don't cross the streams. You never cross the streams. Oh, I'm thinking of something else. The rules as far as life vest goes, they have to be on board. You don't have to be wearing them, but they have to be present just in case. Within reach. They used to do a lot of promotional photographs of characters on skis, goofy, with this backdrop right here, the goof, having a good time. Probably water skis much better than me.
Hey Adam, do you know there's a horn on this thing?
I do now. They're crisscrossing, going to and from the park to the Transportation Ticket Center. We're right in here with them. We're right in here with you. I don't think they hear me. You think they hear me?
Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to hear you. Maybe they're
They're in the moment.
They're in the moment. They're taking in the Seven Seas Lagoon.
Oh wait, they honked. They heard me. Hello. Nailed it. We were talking about Roy Disney earlier. After he did the opening day speech in the park, he came out here onto the Seven Seas Lagoon, and people asked, don't you want to be in the park? And he said, no, I want all the glory to go to my brother Walt. I don't want to be in there. So after he gave the opening speech, he was out here where we are, just hanging out on the waterways. Must also mention the wave machine that used to sit right there. It's been removed. Basically what it did is stirred the water up enough that there were waves. You could surf out here. Didn't last too long though. Created too much erosion on the beach. That's gonna do it for today as we're about to park and end this endeavor. If you're new here, please subscribe. By doing so, it helps keep you in the loop and up to date on future uploads on this channel. Take it a step further and ring that notification bell, and I will put a link to World of Micah's video in the description box down below. Thanks for watching. The vlog is over. They're gonna need a bigger boat.